if they don't follow any religion at all. Ethics rely on logic and reason instead of just following traditions or rules. Sa sinasabi dito, ang ethics daw is tinutulungan tayo mag-decide kung anong dapat at hindi dapat natin gawin. Second is, what is religion? Religion offers beliefs about the universe, how we should behave, and how we should treat one another. It provides a framework for understanding life and our responsibilities to others. Sabi dito, sa religion daw, ang mga naman natin sa religion is kung natin na beliefs kung tama ba or mali yung ginagawa natin. Like for example, napunta sa ating belief ng Panginoon is mag-guide ng tao. So yung nakakawin natin. Dapat hindi tayo papatay ng mga tao kasi ibang bukas ng Diyos at yun yung relationship between ethics and religion. Ethics and religion, while ethics help us understand right from wrong, religion can guide how we apply these ethical principles in our lives. For example, if something is considered bad, ethics suggests what we should avoid it. If something is good, it is generally seen as acceptable to pursue. Ethics and religion are closely related but distinct concepts. Religion often provides a framework for ethical behavior, offering moral codes, guidelines, and beliefs about right and wrong. However, ethics can exist independently of religion. Focusing on moral principles derived from reason, logic, and societal norms. While many religious people derive their ethical values from their faith, secular ethics emphasize universal moral principles applicable to everyone, regardless of religious affiliation. In short, religion can inform ethics, but ethics are not solely dependent on religious belief. Challenges in defining good and bad. Determining what is good or bad can be complicated. Our understanding is influenced by many factors, such as our backgrounds, culture, financial situation, gender, age, experiences, and personal belief. Often, what seems like the easiest or most appealing choice can lead to negative outcomes, while the choices that seem difficult or risky may benefit others.
The introduction. Some philosophers believe that without God, there is no moral ethics to sometimes justify true religious needs. Ibig sabihin nito is, kung walang Diyos, paano namin malalaman ang pagpatay kung tama ba or mali? Sinasabi ng iba is, mali ang pumatay kasi andun yung Ten Commandments. Pero kung gusto mo pumatay, na hindi ka naniniwala sa Ten Commandments, pumatay ka lang, pwede naman. Tapos, morality comes from God. Some argue that moral laws require a divine source. Example, if killing is wrong, it must be because God deems it wrong. That said, philosopher John Mackey, 1977, support this idea. Ang ibig sabihin nito is, kung walang Diyos, wala rin tunay na batayan sa moralidad. Halimbawa na is pagnakaw. Tapos, pagsisinungaling. O, yun na. Tapos, kay Ivan Karamazov's view, Dostoevsky's character, Ivan Karamazov said, if God does not exist, everything is permitted, suggests that without God, people will have no reason to follow moral rules. Ibig sabihin nito, kung
religion and ethics in decision-making with religious beliefs, providing a framework for moral reasoning and guiding ethical choices, thought, interpretation, and application of temporary significant law. So, ang mga paniniwala sa relihiyon ay madalas na nagsisilbing pundasyon para sa moral na pag-iisip na nakakaapekto sa ethical na paggawa ng desisyon sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay ng mga alituntunin sa tama at mali. How religion influence ethical decision-making. First, moral framework. Moral frameworks. Religions provide ethical principles that guide behavior and decision-making. So, ang moral framework or mga balangkas ng moralidad. Ang mga religion ay madalas na nagtataguyod ng mga komprehensibong prinsipyo ng etika na nagsisilbing balangkas ng moralidad para sa kanilang mga tagasunod. Ang mga prinsipyong ito ay naggagabay sa pag-uugali at paggawa ng desisyon sa pamamagitan ng pagtukoy kung ano ang itinuturing na tama at mali. Divine command theory. Action are deemed right or wrong based on God's command. So, divine and command theory, teorya ng utos ng Diyos. Ang teorya ng utos ng Diyos ay nagsasaad na ang mga action ay tinuturing na tama o mali batay sa mga utos ng Diyos. Emphasize on values. Religious teaching promotes compassion, forgiveness, and respect. So, emphasize on values, pagbibigay din sa mga halaga. Ang mga turo ng relihiyon ay madalas na nagtataguyod ng mga pangunahing halaga tulad ng habag, pagpapatawad, at paggalang sa iba. Community and social norms. Shared religious values shape ethical behavior. Community and social norms, komunidad, at ang mga panlipuning pamantayan. Ang mga ipinabahaging halaga ng relihiyon ay may halagang papel sa pagtutog ng ethical na pag-uugali sa loob ng mga komunidad. Scripture and tradition. Religious texts offer moral guidance. Scripture and tradition, kasulatan at tradisyon. Ang mga banal na teksto at tradisyon ay nagbibigay ng mga moral na gabay sa mga tagasunod. So this is the examples in different religions. First, Christianity focus on love, justice, and Jesus teaching. Islam emphasize submission, justice, and compassion. Hinduism highlights dharma, karma, and non-violence. Buddhism promotes mindfulness, compassion, and enlightenment. The rule of ethics. Universal tools. Ethics apply to all religions or not. Logic and wisdom. Ethical choices really on reason, not just tradition. Focus on consequences. Decision consider potential and outcome. Balancing values. Ethics requires quality, different interest, and complex situations.
Lesson 2, 2.1. What is ethical behavior? Ethical behavior is simply following the law as it considers the well-being of individuals and society as a whole, such as actions and decisions that align with moral principles and values. It is a practice of an individual in a manner that upholds moral principles and values. It is a willingness of a person to accept the responsibility for the consequences of their own actions. We can say or consider a person an ethical behavior if they respect the rights, dignity, and well-being of a person, which can promote better personality and a good attitude towards others. Like what Aristotle said in this lesson, ethics is a practical wisdom that we don't need to study. It is an action where we can practice to improve and develop. Our ethical behavior is for better, not just for ourselves, but also for the people surrounding us. It is our part as a human to practice and develop our ethical behavior. Yung sinasabi hindi naman kailangan na wala namang step by step yun para matutunan mo. Yun is kailangan mo practicing from bata ka hanggang sa pagtanda mo. It's ethics and moral behavior, and para sa honesty, wala namang step by step sa pagiging honest. Yun yung kailangan mo i-practice. Kunwari, bumili ka sa tindahan and sobrang magsukli sa'yo, wala namang step by step na tinuro sa'yo kung paano mo gagawin yung una, sa pangalawa, until maibalik o hindi mo ibalik. Yun is yung practice mo na kailangan mo ibalik kasi nga, hindi naman yung sa'yo. And consensus mo na yun na dapat mong ibalik kasi yun yung tama.
2.2 Ethical behavior at work. Ethical behavior in the workplace refers to actions, decisions, and practices to align with accepted moral principles, standards, and values. It involves doing the right thing even when no one is watching and considering the impact of one's action on the customers, on the growth of the community. A strong ethical foundation in the workplace is vital for building trust, fostering positive relationships, and ensuring a harmonious and productive environment. Ethical behavior at work not only benefits the organization's reputation, but also enhances employee morale and overall satisfaction. Kapag ang mga empleyado ay kumikilos ng maintegridad, mas nagiging positibo ang kultura sa loob ng organisasyon. Tumataas ang moral ng mga tao at lumalakas ang reputasyon ng kumpanya. Next, what is ethical behavior at work? Ethical behavior in the workplace involves honesty, integrity, fairness, respect, and accountability. It involves making responsible decisions, avoiding harmful actions, and adhering to clear ethical standards to guard employees and protect organizational integrity. Sa bawat decision ginagawa, kailangan isaalang-alang kung ito ba ay makataruan at malinaw, at hindi makakasama o makakaabuso sa iba. Mahalaga rin ang mga ethical na asal ay inaasahan sa lahat ng antas ng organisasyon mula sa ordinaryong empleyado hanggang sa community.
2.3 How to teach employees ethical behavior. Paano ituro sa mga empleyado ang tamang asal o ethical behavior? Ang pagkakaroon ng code of ethics o pamantayan ng asal ay magandang panimula, pero hindi ito sapat. Mahalaga ng mga pinuno, lalo ng mga manager, ay nagpapakita ng tamang asal dahil sila ang ginagaya ng mga empleyado. Narito ang ilang paraan kung paano maturuan ng mga empleyado ng tamang asal sa trabaho. Number 1, ang tamang asal ay nagsisimula sa iyo. Hindi mo maaasahan na susunod ang mga empleyado sa tama kung ikaw mismo ay hindi gumagawa nito. Dapat ikaw ang maging halimbawa sa salita at sa gawa. Example, dapat tayo yung magiging model para sa mga katrabaho natin. Like yung mga pagsunod sana sa rules and regulations, dapat hindi natin ito nilalabag para tularan tayo ng ibang empleyado. Number 2, regular na pagsasanay para sa lahat ng empleyado. Maaari hindi mo alam ang sagot sa lahat ng ethical na issue, kaya makabubuting kumuha ng eksperto upang magsagawa ng training. Habang nagbabago ang panahon, nababago rin ang mga ethical na hamon dahil ng paggamit ng social media sa sensitibong trabaho tulad ng sa healthcare. Number 3, patupad ang mga patakaran. Kapag may lumabag sa code of ethics ng kumpanya, kailangan may kaukulang aksyon. Maaaring simpleng paalala o babala, pero sa malalalang kaso gaya ng sexual harassment o pagnanakaw, kailangan may mas mahigit, may mas mabigat na parusa gaya ng termination o legal na hakbang. Number 4, kilalanin ang integridad kapag nakita ito. Mahirap pumili ng tama lalo na sa gitna ng tukso o problema. Kaya naman, kapag may empleyadong gumawa ng tamang desisyon, bigyan siya ng papuri o pasasalamat sa kahit pribadong usapan. Number 5, maging bukas at tapat sa komunikasyon. Mahalagang kausapin lamang nakita sa trabaho. Halos kalahati ng mga profesional ay nakakakita ng maling asal taon-taon. Kaya malaking tulong kung may bukas na komunikasyon upang agad itong matugunan. Tapos yung parang kabuuan ng topic na ito is ang pagtuturo ng tamang asal sa mga empleyado ay nagsisimula sa pamumuno. Sinusuportahan ng trainings, pagpapatupad ng patakaran at pagkilala sa mabuti at bukas na komunikasyon.
Obstacles to ethical behavior. Barriers to ethical behavior. Barriers to ethical behavior refers to factors that hinder individuals or organizations from acting ethically. These barriers can arise from psychological, organizational, or contextual influences. So, barriers to ethical behavior are factors that prevent individuals or organizations from acting in morally right. So, ang maaaring makahadlang ito ay magmumula mismo sa psychological, organizational, or contextual. So, ang isang halimbawa nito is when an employee overlooks a colleague's misconduct to avoid being labeled a troublemaker. So, kapag ang isang empleyado ay pinipiling papansinin o itago ang maling gawain ng isa sa kanyang katrabaho para maiwasan ang pagiging turing na troublemaker. Types of barriers to ethical behavior. Number 1, conceived goals. Goals are incentive designed to promote certain outcomes may unintentionally encourage unethical behavior. For example, for cost-benefit analysis on the Pinto case prioritized financial savings over safety. So ito ay nangyayari kapag ang mga layunin o insentibo ay tinakda upang itaguyod ang tiyak na mga resulta ngunit hindi sinasadyang nakikaya ng hindi elikal na pag-uugali. So base sa the Ford Pinto case, in 1970s, Ford aimed to produce a subcompact car, the Pinto, that was lightweight and affordable. However, the engineering design placed the fuel tank in a vulnerable position, making it prone to rupturing in rear-end collision. Instead of addressing the safety concern, Ford conducted a cost-benefit analysis known as the Pinto Memo, which assigned a monetary value to human life. They conclude that the cost of redesigning the fuel system outweigh the potential cost of the proceeds from accidents. This analysis led to a decision to not modify the design, prioritizing financial saving over human safety. So, ang kasong ito ay naging isang halimbawa ng kung paano ang maling insentibo at pagpapahalaga sa pananalapi ay maaaring magdulot ng hindi ethical na desisyon na naglalagay sa pangalan ng kabuhay ng tao.
So, indirect blindness. Example nito is may group parang magkaka-classmate, then pinagawa kayo ng research, tapos binigay nyo yung isang part sa kabruto ninyo, tapos yung kabruto na pinagbigyan nyo is pinagawa niya sa iba, which is nagbayad siya. Then, kayo as a group, pinagawa niya naman yung gawa niya. Then, nung mag-represent na kayo ng research ninyo, is nagtanong yung presenters nyo kung bakit ganun yung outcome ng research nyo. Then, nasabi nyo, siya naman po yung gumawa, hindi naman kami. So, doon na babasok yung indirect blindness, which is dapat nasa group kayo meron slippery slope is, example nito is, at first nakopya ka, then sabi mo sa sarili mo, hindi naman siguro nila ako mahuhuli kasi nakopya ako. Hindi nila ako mahuhuli. Then, pangalawa, naisip mo ulit mangopya kasi katulad ng sa una, hindi ka nga nila nahuli. Then sa pangatlo, ganun din lang yung ginawa sa pangatlo ng kopya ka ulit. Kasi nga iniisip mo na hindi ka ginawa ulit. Then sa pang-apat naman is, may research project kayo. Siyempre nasanay ka sa una, pangalawa, sa pangatlo mong gawa na nakukopya ka. Then yung sa research nyo is, parang nangopya ka rin lang kasi, yun, nangopya ka ulit. Nangopya ka ulit ng mga literature, parang hindi mo inisip yung consequences nun. So yung slippery slope is parang, yung slippery slope is yung mga simpleng bagay na ginawa mo na sa tingin mo is hindi ka nila mahuli or hindi mo inisip yung consequences ay hindi yung maliit na bagay